Charlie Chopoff is the name given to an unidentified American killer between 1972 and 1973 in Manhattan. The killer mutilated 4 young boys, 3 of which were murdered afterwards, and 1 survived. The first murder was 8-year-old Douglas Owens on March 9, 1972. He'd been stabbed 38 times and found his genitalia had been severed but not completely separated from his body. April 20th, another boy was found repeatedly stabbed. This time, his genitals were completely cut from his body. Miraculously, he survived his attack and was later used by police to try and identify his attacker. October 23rd, 9-year-old Wendell Harvard was found stabbed to death on the roof of a tenement house. Once again, his genitals were completely severed from his body. March 7th, 1973, 9-year-old Louise Auschwitz was found stabbed to death 38 times, just like Douglas was, with the same sort of mutilations as Wendell. The final killing on August 17th, of 8-year-old Stephen Cropper, who was slashed with a razor, unlike the last 4 boys who were stabbed. It's said his chest resembled that of mincemeat. He died, however, from a slashed artery, and his genitals were left intact. Ono Soto, after a failed abduction of a young boy on May 15, 1974, was arrested by police. He was a frequent patient at the Manhattan State Hospital since 1969. Soto confessed to the murder of Stephen Cropper, but was later declared mentally unstable, therefore unable to stand trial. Though Soto confessed and once apprehended the killings had stopped, the case still remains open with what little evidence they have. Manhattan State Hospital told police that he was in their care during the time of the attacks, but later confessed he may have gotten out of confinement, which previously he had done. When the survivor of the attack was asked to confirm if it was Soto, he couldn't, but did confirm a similarity. An anonymous source placed Soto at the first murder, and due to mental instability he was in charge but placed to a psychiatric ward. Shortly before these murders, Aaron tried to reconcile with his ex-wife, who now has a young child and, like 3 of his victims, was of colour. Both Soto and his ex-wife were Puerto Rican. This added to his instability and caused him to crack, to the point he heard the voice of God telling him to turn boys into girls, which explains the young boy's mutilations. This case still remains unopened until a killer is found, but police still suspect Soto, and unless Soto becomes mentally